In the history of modern Kenya, few names are as infamous, and as paradoxical, as Kamlesh Pattni. He was the flamboyant businessman at the heart of a scandal that crippled a nation's economy, a man who walked the highest corridors of power. And then, he became a born-again preacher, claiming a divine encounter had washed his sins away. This is the story of a dramatic rise, a spectacular fall, and a controversial rebirth. This is the tale of the two lives of Kamlesh Pattni. Our story begins in Mombasa. Kamlesh Pattni was born on December 23, 1960, into a business-minded family of Indian descent. The coastal city, a historic hub of trade, was his first classroom in commerce. He attended Mombasa Technical High School, but his real education wasn't in textbooks. He was sharp, ambitious, and eager to make his mark. While others pursued university, Pattni dove headfirst into business, trying his hand at everything from importing electronics to starting an airline called Goldair. But one idea would eclipse all others. In the late 1980s, Kenya was desperate for foreign currency. The government created an incentive scheme, promising huge payments in Kenyan shillings to anyone who could bring in foreign exchange through exports. Pattni saw his golden opportunity. Through his company, Goldenberg International, Pattni claimed he was exporting massive quantities of gold and diamonds. The government paid him billions of shillings in compensation. There was just one problem: most of the exports were fictitious. It was a classic con, but on a national scale. The scheme was a house of cards, but it was a house protected by the most powerful man in the country. The truth eventually exploded into the Goldenberg scandal. A judicial commission of inquiry called it a gigantic fraud. The cost to the Kenyan people was astronomical. An estimated 60 billion Kenyan shillings, roughly $600 million at the time, was siphoned from the economy. This theft starved the nation of funds for hospitals, schools, and infrastructure, plunging the country into a deep economic crisis. Pattni's empire was built on this foundation. As the legal net tightened, a stunning transformation began. The flamboyant businessman, Kamlesh Pattni, started to introduce himself as Dr. Paul Mackenzie Pattni, a born-again Christian. He spoke of a powerful encounter with Jesus Christ that led to his conversion. He preached forgiveness, salvation, and being a new creation. The man who was accused of conning a nation was now saving souls. To many, it was a convenient rebirth. To his followers, it was a genuine miracle. But his past was not so easily erased. For over 2 decades, Pattni battled the courts. The public demanded justice for the Goldenberg scandal. In 2019, a climax of sorts arrived. Pattni entered a plea bargain, pleading guilty to the lesser charge of failing to disclose assets to the commission. He was fined 5 million shillings, a mere fraction of the billions lost. For countless Kenyans, this was a deeply unsatisfactory conclusion to one of the nation's most painful chapters. So, who is the real Kamlesh Pattni? Is he the cunning architect of Kenya's greatest financial heist, a man who exploited a system and evaded true accountability? Or is he Paul Mackenzie, the redeemed preacher, a living testament to the power of grace? His story remains a powerful and unresolved paradox. It is a stark lesson on the corrosive cost of corruption and the complex, often controversial, nature of redemption. The name Pattni is forever etched in Kenyan history, a symbol of grand ambition, devastating greed, and a transformation that continues to be debated to this day.